Welcome everyone to the MHS Rewind Studios on the campus of Martinsville High School for another edition of Inside Martinsville Football. I'm your host, Eric Meyer, joined as always by Artesian head coach Brian Duggar. And coach, first, congratulations. Huge come from behind win, thrilling fashion over the Grizzly Cubs at Franklin on Friday night.
Yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster of a game, kind of back and forth, being down at halftime a little bit, coming out, getting two quick touchdowns, and then giving up the late touchdown with, about 50 seconds to go to get down by 5, and then to go, 70 yards in 42 seconds in a 2-minute drill situation to score with about 6 seconds to go is pretty fun.
27-26, the final, the victory. I was at Louisville watching the Cardinals play, but also watching the game, and it was buffering. I'm like, all right, it's probably over with now, but it was great to see Mr. Shrake dive into the end zone at the end and get that win for you guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The kids played hard. That last drive was really. It kind of felt like 3 years in the making, really. It's kind of funny with a lot of these kids. A lot of them are 3-year starters for us and played, multiple positions on offense in different spots. And when they scored with about 50 seconds to go, there was no flinch. There was no, we're beat. I turned around and there was 3 or 4 offensive guys right there. Tyler Atkins, Garrett Skaggs, Braden Shrake. They're ready to go. They're hey, we like this. If we think we can score on this, and we get in the red zone, we really like this. And it was almost like we scripted that last drive. It kind of went as planned, and then to score on a play that we kind of decided to put in on Thursday as well, when we kind of saw on film that we might cause some problems, just kind of was pretty satisfying and a lot of fun, actually.
Awesome to see the win by the Artesians there at the end. But like you said, it was a roller coaster of a contest. Yeah. Didn't start out great for you guys. No. You have an opening series fumble and you fall behind at the half, 20-7.
Yeah, there's something about Franklin. When we play there, for some reason, we just, when we're going that north way, we just don't start well there for some reason. Last time we were there, we had 3 turnovers, and luckily this time it was only 1 in that first quarter. So, we came out kind of slow and sluggish. We were able to kind of get a couple plays and score to make it 7-7. They got us on a drive there, a bad alignment on our defense. Went for 60, I think it was 50 or 60, to make it 13-7 because we blocked the first extra point, which loomed to be huge in the game. And then we, kind of a great play by their defensive end. Tyler throws a pick on a screen pass, which you don't normally see, and then they scored again. And it's kind of like, okay, it's 20-6 or 27 all of a sudden, and not really knowing how we're going to come out of halftime, but huge turn of events. Trevor Hott makes the big play, got us a little spark going, and we kind of got on a run and took the lead there in the third quarter.
And like you said, you were able to get that pick, that momentum, come back and take the lead. Then you had some adversity again. Like we said, it was a roller coaster contest. They score late to go ahead. You get the ball back with, like you said, 50 seconds left in the game, and kind of just, scripted that out, if you will, on the sideline with what you're going to do. But before you get to that point, though, what's kind of the message to the team at halftime going in? You're down 20-7.
Well, our motto all week was keep digging. That was, we felt like in the Decatur game, there were about 4 or 5 plays that could have went either way, and if we won one of those, we probably would have came out, with a victory. So the motto was just keep digging. You don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know when the big moment's going to happen. When you find gold, just keep digging. So we just kind of kept that mantra. That was kind of how we started all week. We kind of did it all week long in practice, and then at halftime there wasn't anything better to say than, hey, keep digging. Like, we're not done yet. We can make some plays, some good things could happen, and then they score that touchdown there with 50 seconds to go. Hey, keep digging. Let's see what happens, and that's what the boys did.
And you had to keep digging there. You mentioned Decatur Central as well, and maybe going back to that Decatur game just a little bit, you had a similar play or a similar situation at the end of the game. You guys didn't have much time left. You had to have the drive as well. So how much do you draw off of that experience, being in those situations before, had to help coming out with 50-some seconds left in this one, knowing you had to get it into the end zone?
Yeah, I think it probably helped a little bit. I think our kids are confident anyway. We kind of excel in the 2-minute. It's something our kids like to do. We like to do it at practice as much as we can. It's something that is enjoyable for our kids, if that sounds weird. They like to be in that situation. Probably because they play a lot of Madden and do that a lot in Madden, I guess. I don't know. But, what we saw against Decatur, we were able to, go down the field and score real quick. if we get the onside kick, I mean, we're kind of feeling pretty good in that situation. But it probably helped us a little bit confidence-wise, just knowing, hey, we can do this. We're good to go. Let's do what we do.
Like we said, a huge touchdown there by Braden Shrake, diving at the pylon, gets it in. You're going to see the celebration afterwards. It's pretty cool here on the highlights. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights here of Martinsville's win over Franklin on Friday night. You'll see Carl Van Deventer once again with some great highlights.
Carl does a great job. So, our defense played pretty well. I mean, they tackled well. There's a big tackle by Trey. Outside of the couple Wildcat runs that they did where we kind of had some misalignments and a bad read and kind of a busted play late in the game, I thought our defense was really good again.
That Wildcat, was that something you guys had seen on film a little bit?
It was something we had seen. They added a little tweak to it. And our kids just didn't react the best that they could have on that one. And that's on us. We'll get it fixed and do a better job next time.
Is that on Trevor there, or is that a call?
It was kind of a game plan thing, something we saw. And, again, it's on Trevor. If you like it, take it. If not, kick it. So kind of added to our rugby a little bit this week. And he saw it and took it. Kind of hold your breath because it's 4th and 10 from our own 30-yard line. But we have confidence in Trevor to make the right play on that. I thought Tyler did a great job kind of taking what was given to him, not trying to force the ball. We like the matchup with Garrett in a lot of spots. Garrett has a huge game. I think he finishes with 13 catches, like almost 180 yards and a touchdown you see there. Just kind of, they were going to let him play a little bit, and we took advantage of that.
Good job keeping Shepard in check.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to run the ball. They want to go outside zone, run the ball a bunch. And that's what they tried to do a lot, and it was good for us that our guys were disciplined and did their job. Like I said, outside of the two Wildcats, we did a pretty good job on outside zone.
Getting Garrett with another catch, and there's Tyler again back at it.
Yeah, this is when you hold your breath again. Your quarterback scrambling in the end zone on the 1-yard line, but does a good job waiting, letting Garrett get across the field. We kind of cleared out that side for him, and just good read by Tyler.
Shrake again, over 100 yards in the contest. I think he went over 100.
Yeah, he did. And he, I think like 80 of it was in the second half. He kind of came. We started slow on that. Wasn't a great first half for our offensive line or Braden really. But we challenged him at halftime really to kind of do a better job of kind of just being positive and running hard. That was a big play, a little gain tackle there, but on top of that, unfortunately, their quarterback kind of went out on that play, and he's a pretty good player. But here's a good job by Trevor Hott doing, he's beat a little bit there, but does the technique he's been coached. Don't look back for the ball, play through the guy's hands, does a great job of it, and just ball pops up, makes play. And, as a coach, you're happy because not only did he make the play, but he did what he's been coached to do in that situation.
That's huge for you guys coming out of the locker room, too.
Yeah, I mean, that gives us the ball back, and this is where Braden kind of came out a little bit and decided that he was gonna not just, not gonna settle with being good. He was gonna be great, and you see, I think it's this next highlight right here. He kind of, BYOB, bring your own block. Just kind of, I'm gonna do it myself, even though, you get two guys hanging off of him, he still gains 5 yards and a touchdown. So just great effort by him. He came out in the second half a different kid, and we need that going forward. And you see, here's the Wildcat stuff. Second half, felt like we maintained that much better. Did a good job of being in the right gaps, right spot. Devin Brenner was huge. Just good stuff for us. This is a great run right here. Just a little in and out, climbing the ladder. Getting to the sideline, and then it just comes a foot race there, and that's 21's a really good football player and makes a good tackle there. But that was Braden. Braden was great in the second half, and we needed it. And Josh Jones here, big play. I guess I'll go ahead and disclose it. He thought he was in the end zone there. Dove. Should have had his first varsity touchdown, but dove too soon. But just good play. But Braden's not going to complain about it because he gets to punch it in the next play. And we were playing pretty good football at this point. We liked where we were at. Moving the ball, defense is getting locked in. We just took the lead here, so we're kind of feeling pretty good about ourselves. And like there's their outside zone. We're right on top of it. I like probably a little too much there, but I like the fact we're going for the ball. I like we're trying to dig it out. That's something we really preach. I thought third quarter was some of the best football we've played this year on both sides of the ball. Just kind of complete effort, and that's why we jumped out to the 21-20 lead there.
Another big stop that time. by Devin.
They brought this kid in, again, going for the ball. We didn't come up with it, but it's one thing we've really been stressing. We're doing a good job of getting the guys and tackling and getting them down. We need to do a better job of the second guy going in, trying to poke the ball out and make a big play. Stevie Drake seems to have one of those every game, just kind of sneaks in through the backside and makes a play. We got to keep having those going forward. But again, you see here, this is really good football. We're flying to the ball. We're playing our responsibilities. Everybody's maintaining their gaps. Just good football all around. A lot of defensive clips on this. And this is a good offense. Franklin's a really good football team. We knew that going into it. There's a reason why they're ranked number 5 in 5A, so we were kind of fully expecting to have that. Is this the last drive, the start of it? Yeah, there's the first play. So we're down here at this point, 42 and or 42 seconds to go. And like we said, we knew we liked certain things. We knew we could get 4 vertical. There were certain plays that we kind of chatted about before it happened that we knew were going to happen. And it's just funny that that's how it played out. The kids did a great job, executed everything, used our timeouts the right times. Probably sooner than I would like to, but they're big plays. When you have big plays, you need to use your timeouts. And Tyler does a great job here, stepping up. We really like this concept in the goal line, or red zone, excuse me. And then we get down here to the 1, and we put this play in on Thursday. We thought it was something that could cause them problems, and the defensive end almost makes a great play, to be honest with you. We weren't accounting for him, but if that guy's not there, he walks in. But instead, Shrake does a really good job, and the celebration starts, and there's the 2 Shrakes having some fun, and just an all-around exciting kind of moment, kind of just fun.
We talked about it. If you were around football enough at the college level and at the high school level especially, 50 seconds with a couple of timeouts is a lot of time because the ball stops every time you get a first down. If you go out of bounds, it stops. So it's that not panic, and you guys have been in that situation, the kids kind of taking ownership of it with wanting what plays they thought would work. That's got to be tremendous, and obviously led to that score.
And like I said, that's why it felt like it's been 3 years in the making. Just having those guys to have the confidence to come say, we like this, this, and this. Hey, you're right. Let's do this. Kind of just scripting it all. It was a lot of fun. And like you said, 50 seconds with 3 timeouts. That's in a 2-minute situation. It feels like eternity, just because the clock's going to stop. And like I said, we used our timeouts a little quicker than I would have felt like we needed to. But when you're gaining 20, 25 yards, you kind of we need to reset here, timeout. So good problem to have, and great execution by our kids.
Great execution down the stretch to get the big win, 4-1 on the season, and set up another huge top 10 matchup coming up Friday night at Ciderwitz Field. This time it is the Whiteland Warriors coming to town. Whiteland 5-0, ranked number 1
and
in Class 5A. And this is well-deserving, a great ball club. What a tremendous opportunity and matchup coming up for you guys on Friday night.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Anytime a number 1 ranked team's coming to your field, that's fun. The Whiteland totally deserves that number 1 ranking in 5A. They're the best team I've seen on film. They're really good. They're well coached. You know what you're going to get from a Coach Fisher team. We're going to have to play really well, but I expect an awesome environment. I know their student section is going to be great. I know our student section is going to be great, and should be a great Friday night football game.
A great environment coming up at Ciderwitz Field on Friday night as the number 1 in 5A Whiteland Warriors battling the number 10 in 4A Martinsville Artesians on Friday at 7 o'clock. Get out there to watch the contest. You mentioned Coach Fisher for Whiteland. They've done a tremendous job over there throughout the years, and he's got a great ball club once again. But like you said, you know what you're going to get out of Whiteland. Stopping it, a different story. You know what you're going to get. It's that fly offense they're going to run. Talk a little bit about, for people that may not know, what they're going to see essentially every play out of the Whiteland Warriors.
Yeah, and trying to understand the fly offense is above me a little bit at times, just because what it is it's a lot of movement, it's a lot of deception, it's a lot of jet sweeps. You got jet sweep one way and then power ISO zone the other way. There's just all sorts of moving parts, and what it requires you to do is to play 100% assignment football. You can't get looking in the wrong spot. You got to be great eye discipline. You got to be staring at the right spots, and you got to take on blocks and defeat them. It's one of the cool things about playing Whiteland. There's nothing fun about playing Whiteland, just let me tell you that. But it requires your kids to play fundamental football. If you're going to have a chance to beat them, if you're going to have a chance to play with them, you got to play fundamental football. You can't just go out there and play. If your kids do that, it's kind of exciting because you feel like you've done your job a little bit as a coach and teaching them how to play the right way. So, we've had a heck of a run here. We went from number 7, 5A, to number 5, 5A, to now number 1, 5A, and teams just keep getting better. And we're going to have our hands full on Friday night. Like you said, that the fly offense and what they do is tough, and their defense is really good too. So we're going to have to play really good football.
Be a tough assignment, like we said, coming up on Friday night against the Whiteland Warriors, and you talked about it being assignment football. Yeah. Even doing that, they have done that so often. They've got answers to what you do as well,
absolutely.
And you guys have to be able to understand sometimes they're going to have an answer that you did what you're supposed to, but they're still going to maybe break some plays here and there. But if ultimately you keep pounding, keep doing what you're supposed to, you hope for some success.
And that's kind of, you'll ask me here a little bit what our keys are, but, you're kind of hitting at that a little bit. Is one of those things is limiting the big play. Because they have an answer for when you're playing fundamental. When you're doing things right, they have an answer that kind of throws off the grain a little bit of what that is. And they could kind of go against your keys and your reads a little bit. And you got to survive it sometimes. You got to just settle that for make the tackle for 10, 12-yard gain versus 60, 70. Yeah. So that's kind of a huge part of going against that offense a little bit. And defensively, they're as good as they are on offense.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably better on defense. And that's saying something. I think their coach Press does a great job of mixing in 4-3, 3-4 looks, kind of do some different stuff with their coverage. I really like what they do with their coverage. Not going against it, but it's good stuff. I just think they're really well coached on defense. I think they're physical. I think they fly the football, and I think they're a solid defense as well.
You mentioned the physical, the well coached, and flying to the football. I listened to Coach Fisher a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week, on a show after one of his contests, and that's one thing he hit on, is that team likes to hit. They like to get after you on the defensive end, and that's what you're going to see, a physical defense on Friday night. Yeah,
for sure. That's they hang their hat on that. There's a lot of energy on that side of the ball, and like I said, it starts with their defense coordinator. He brings a lot of energy for them, and it kind of spills off on the kids, and they kind of play that tough, hard-nosed, exciting football that he wants to play on that side of the ball. I mean, they're not giving up very many points. I don't know what the number is exactly, but it's not much. It might be single digits.
Yep, it's about 10 a game, 53 or 51.
Yeah, they're doing a great job on defense, and we're going to be up for the challenge. I mean, we can't come out and not play well in the first quarter. As this goes on, the tougher teams you play, the less room for error you have, and we can't have a first quarter again. We can't come out and kind of lay an egg in the first quarter against the number 1 ranked team, because they'll take advantage of it.
Like you said, coming in, they give up about 10 points a game on the defensive side. On offense, they're at about 30 a contest. Rushing-wise, they're about 300 a game. Those are the stats. We know they're 5-0. We know they're number 1 in the state. So what are the keys that you guys are going to have to do to come out and be successful on Friday night?
Defensively, it's what I said. We're going to have to be gap sound. We're going to have to play assignment football, defeat blocks, and make good and tackle. That's what we're going to have to do. And you can't give up the big play. That's huge kind of this week. Survive it. If it's 10, 15, that's okay. We'll be okay. They got to, make them go 70, make them do it in 10, 15 plays. And then offensively, it's what it is every week. It's our front line's going to do a good job of identifying the fronts, odds versus evens. And then, we just got to take care of the football and take what's given to us. I mean, it gets old, and it's the same saying over and over again, but it really is the truth. As long as we're doing that, we usually move the ball pretty well.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you joining us as always. Good luck on Friday night. We'll see you out there.
Thank you. Should be a fun, exciting game.
Should be fun and exciting. Get out there and support the Artesians. Ciderwoods Field kickoff 7 o'clock. Huge contest. 5A number 1, Whiteland coming to town in a mid-state conference matchup. 4A number 10, Martinsville waiting for them there at Ciderwoods Field. Get out and watch it. If you can't get to it or you're not living here, have some relatives around, hey, send out the link from MHS Rewind YouTube. The kids will do a great job on the contest as well on Friday night. As always, I'd like to thank the head coach for coming in. For Brian Duggar, along with the QB room back there, QB1 Tyler Atkins and QB2 Bo Dilley, I'm Eric Meyer. We'll see you again next time inside Artesian Football.